Hi everyone, my name is Kassandra Prus and I'm a therapeutic yoga and exercise teacher. So I've got here a collection of movements, exercises, kind of mobilizing, strengthening things for your hands. So great for if you've got arthritis, great if you type a lot, great for a variety of different reasons. Yeah, just to kind of get everything moving and warm through the hands, which take a lot of flack. So we're going to just start by warming up the hands a little bit. So if you're washing your hands, you can come between the fingers a little bit. If you're wearing any rings, you might take those off. I might actually do that right now. Just kind of get everything nice and warm, and you can do that all the way up your arms. So as we're doing this, we're kind of waking up the nerve endings in all these different parts of our bodies and reminding our brain that we've got arms, we've got fingers, all the way for both arms up to the shoulder. We're all connected, and all these parts are going to interplay. We've got tension in the hands, it's going to travel all the way up towards our shoulder. So after we've warmed that up, you're going to bring our palms together here, and you're going to interlace your fingers nice and tight. You're going to squeeze as tight as you can, and then you're going to release so the fingers come nice and long. Now we're going to find our fingers, so all the fingers go one in the opposite direction. So now our wrong thumb is going to be over top. And squeeze as tight as you can. You're going to let them go. You're going to switch, go back to the normal feeling way. Squeeze, and release. And again, the other side. Squeeze, and release. Let's do one more time either side. Nice tight squeeze and release. We're going to switch sides and a squeeze and release. Good. All right, now we're going to keep those palms facing towards each other. We're going to widen the hands a little bit. So notice as you do that, if your fingers kind of want to press back, see if they do, see if you can keep them in line. Same with the thumb. Sometimes the thumb wants to pop back, but we're going to try and keep ourselves nice and straight here and just find space. So a space between each of your fingers. And then we're going to squish them back together. So again, finding space, trying not to let the fingers flare back, straight and wide, and then back together. Let's do that 2 more times. You're going to spread wide as strong as you can. Whoop, and flat. Again, my fingers want to pop back. It's trickier than it seems. Wide, and squish. Good. Now we're going to keep our elbows in by our sides. We're going to flip the palms to face up. And your elbows are going to stay hugged in. They're going to want to pop out a little bit later. So we're going to squeeze as tight as you can. And release and flip over. So again, squeeze tight, release, and flip. Back and forth a couple times. Squeeze, release, flip, squeeze, release, flip. Good. Once you've got that pattern, we're going to start to go a little bit faster. And again, resist the urge for those elbows to pop up. We're going to squeeze, release, flip, squeeze, release, flip, squeeze, release, flip, squeeze, release, flip. One more, squeeze, release, flip, and the bottom squeeze, release, and flip. Nice. You can shake that out a little bit. Good. Then coming back to those elbows hugged in, we're going to flip one so it's up and one so the palm is down, and then other way, and flip. Again, resist the urge for those elbows to creep out. Keep them nice and tight. You're going to warm up the forearms with that rotation. Back, forth, back, forth. Once you've got it, you can go a little faster. Back, forth. Good. Nice and warm, as fast as makes sense. When you feel like you're done and the forearms are good and warm, I'm going to let that stop. Whew, and let it go. Good. Now we're going to come to a little stretch through each finger. So you're going to invite your pinky finger to get heavy down. The opposite hand is going to kind of hold on to, I'm trying to find a good spot here. Yep. So you're going to let that get nice and heavy. On each of these fingers, you might close your eyes and take a breath. And out. And come to the second one. And again, as much pressure as makes sense. So hopefully we're feeling up the finger through the palm, maybe even into the hand. And after that breath, you switch to the middle finger. Again, a breath or 2 on each finger. And just seeing if you can invite that hand, so the hand that's getting the stretch, to be really heavy. As heavy as you can. once you get to your thumb, you're going to give yourself a thumbs up. And you're going to kind of gently pull the thumb towards your body. And we're not yanking, we're just giving a gentle pressure. 1 or 2 breaths. And then you're going to let that go. And you'll shake. We'll do the other side again, the finger, 1 finger at a time. And as much down as makes sense. So it depends. If you've got any injuries, arthritis, anything you're working with, you might not lower very far, or you might lower almost back towards the forearm, depending on your range of motion. But wherever we are, we're just finding a place of manageable sensation through the palm, the finger. Switch hands, couple breaths. Middle finger. First finger. And when you get to the thumb, again, give yourself that thumbs up and a gentle pressure back towards you, only as much as makes sense. Maybe you close your eyes for those nice breaths. Okay, once we've got that, we can give a little shake out. Okay. And we're going to come into a little more articulation through the fingers. So this is more of a brain exercise. You can do this one hand at a time or both hands. If you're doing one hand at a time, you can just pause and start the sequence again. Once you come, I'm going to show with both hands. So we're going to bring our thumb towards our first finger as round as we can. And then you're going to bring your second finger to the thumb as round as you can. And then third, that's where it starts to get tricky, and then fourth. Good, we're going to do that again. So again, first finger nice and round, and second, and third, and fourth. Let's do that a little bit faster. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, give it a little wiggle. Now the next one, so you're going to do 3 options. So the next one, if you feel like it makes sense, you're going to join in. If you want to do the first one again, totally great. So we're going to try now, instead of the fingers being round, you're going to try and reach them as long as you can. So you're getting a bit of a stretch through the back of the hand now. And then you're going to come to your second finger again as long as you can, almost like a duck, shadow puppet. Good. And then you're going to go the third finger and then the fourth. And again, you're going first finger, second finger, third finger, and fourth. One more time, maybe a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. You will shake out. Ooh, all right. Particularly my left hand, that's tough. Those little fingers. All right. Now we're going to get to the third option. Again, either of the first 2 options are great. Maybe you're totally done. You don't want to do anymore. Maybe you want to do one more. In which case, you'll start by tapping those fingers together, and then your thumbs are going to trace down almost towards the palm. So I'm going to show kind of one at a time. So show the fingertips together, and then like you're coloring in the finger with your thumb. And then again, fingers tap, and you trace and color to the palm. Fingers tap, trace and color to the palm. Fingers tap, trace and color to the palm. To the other hand, again, fingers tap, trace and color. Fingers tap, trace and color. Fingers tap, trace and color. One more, fingers tap, trace and color. Good. You can do once, twice, 3 times on either hand, whatever makes sense. Great. Again, just to get those joints moving, get the brain reconnected to all the different parts of the hands. And if any of those aren't working, you can always build your way up. So starting with this simplest version, getting the nice stretch through the fingers is sort of your next step. And then the trace is the trickiest part. If the fingers aren't coordinating with your brain, it's not doing what your brain is hoping, you can always close your eyes, visualize the hands doing that movement, and over time, so you're priming your brain, your neural pathways first, over time the fingers will start to cooperate. All right, so let's bring now the palms together, a little stretch through kind of the whole forearm. Palms can stay together, and you're going to press the hands together and just let the heels of the bottom of your wrists press down towards the ground. And as far as it'll go, and what we're hopefully going to get is a stretch through the forearm and through the palm, maybe even up to the fingers, and down just as far as you can go. And again, you might close your eyes 2-3 breaths. Nice inhale. And an exhale. 1 or 2 more. And then you might find that that's enough sensation, or maybe you want to experiment with a little gentle press over to one direction. Again, we're not taking the whole body. It's like we're pressing the one hand away, and then you're going to go the other way. And I might deepen the stretch on the side that you're pressing towards. Back and forth a couple times. If at any point you get tingly through the fingers, you're going to move a little bit less. So we're compressing either a nerve or a blood vessel. We want blood and nerves to do what they're supposed to do. So we don't need to push through to the point that our fingers are tingling. Whenever you're done, balance, you can let that go. And then we're going to do the other way. So now I'm going to try and bring the backs of our hands together. So the backs of the fingers even towards your thumbs, which may or may not happen. All right. All right. And then the same thing, we're going to invite the wrists to press down towards the floor. You can take a couple breaths there. Again, trying to reach the thumbs as close together as you can. They might not actually touch, or they might. Now, hopefully that stretch is coming more through the back of the hand and wrist. All right. And then again, maybe the stillness is good, or maybe you want to do that gentle press side to side, which will deepen the stretch a little on that arm that's bending more, the wrist that's bending more. A couple times back and forth again, trying to keep those wrists as close together as you can, the thumbs as close together as you can. And it doesn't look like much, but it feels pretty great. All right. When you're done, you can let that go nice and slow. All right. Now, great collection of things. You can do that in a chair. You can do it while you're waiting for something to print. You can do it really in the midst of a lot of things, while you're seated, while you're watching TV, anything at all. If you'd like to do kind of one bonus one that you can do, perhaps not while you're, at work or in a meeting, but somewhere where you can stand up. If this feels all right for your wrists, you can stand up. And we'll do this one where, making sure you can see the chair here, my palms are going to come down. You can do this either on a chair or on a table. You can always bend your knees here to find a little length in your spine. And then what we're going to do is start to walk the fingers out towards the side and as close to back behind you as they'll go. So they might not get all the way there. They might stay by your sides and already have a big long stretch on the arms. So as far as the fingers will go, for manageable sensation, we're going to try and hold here for 8 breaths. So you decide what makes sense. If you're pushing so far that you're in pain, the muscles are going to do the opposite of stretch. They're going to contract to help keep your joints safe. So find a manageable sensation, just a little bit of stretch. And then we're going to do a little pulse back and forth. So you're going to shift your weight a little bit forwards. And then you're going to pulse your weight back. And that's going to intensify it a little bit. You're going to do that a couple times. Again, you don't want to go so far that your muscles are actually doing the opposite of what you want. Manageable sensation. If you overshoot, you can always untwist the hands a little bit. Back and forth. Again, you can do this on a table, on a desk, anything at all. And after a couple pulses back and forth, you're going to carefully untwist. I'm going to bring ourselves up and give that a little shake out. And there's some love for your hands and your forearms and your fingers. I hope you enjoy, and take that with you wherever you'd like.